So we're going to talk about how to boost your SEO ranking using optimized content. And basically, we're just learning how to write our websites so that everything we write really makes a big difference. And so when you're writing for SEO, you've got two audiences in mind. You've got robots and humans. I think that Patrick represents robots and I represent the humans.
Ouch. I'm gonna remember that.
At least in our approach, that's how it goes, you know. But no, I'm really glad that we talked because I've come up with some really good keywords that I haven't been really using very much before. But anyway, the search engines, as Patrick has been explaining to us, have crawled the internet and they look for these keywords and they use algorithms and they filter it so that when someone types in certain phrases, they come to one site or another and it ranks itself. And so, on the other hand, so the computers are doing that, but at the same time, your customers are actual human beings in town. Sometimes they're across the state, across the world, but they're looking for something. You're trying to solve a problem. And so when you can't only talk to the robots, you need to actually solve the problem. Because if someone comes to your website, they need something. They're expecting something. They need to solve their problem. And so when they get to your site, they need to get what they were hoping to find. And that's how they dig deeper. So pleasing them both is what's going to make it work for you. And in my humble opinion, you need to talk to the human beings. I think everything works out when you talk to humans, but Patrick doesn't agree.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're talking to humans if you're not even number one, right? If they don't even get to your site, then I mean, you have to write for both.
I know.
And that's what you said.
If you could have like the best lure on your line, you have the biggest, fattest worm, and if you throw it in a pond that has no fish, it's not going to help.
You're
not going to catch anything.
That's very true.
You need to be able to.
That's almost talking about a conversion, though, like your conversion goals, right? Once you get them to your site, that's one thing. But then now they're there, what do you do with them, right?
So anyway, we're writing for people. Writing for people, not search engines. And so, I don't know, maybe when we could pause for a second and talk about who are the people that we're talking to. Who are the people that you're talking to? Do you have any idea, like, who comes to you?
Homeowners with yards.
So
Wages.
and trees. Mine is busy moms looking for programs for their kids. Yours might be men wanting to solve a problem or their wives. Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is true. Yeah.
I don't know.
The wives looking for the directions for the husbands.
Or the wives that are fed up with their husbands trying to resolve the problem.
Honey, this is the number, call them.
Yeah. I was thinking it might be especially helpful when people are trying to sell their house and get better value. And then if you go that angle, then you can get real estate agents involved, and they're really good at spreading the word for you.
Right.
Property owners too, for sure. Not just homeowners, but like landlords. Landlords for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like people who need it now, like why they would call you immediately. Andy, have you thought of who are these people that you're trying to talk to?
Entrepreneurs, investors, affiliates, business people. I can keep going on with the list, but and just general techies, boneheads.
And how about you, Claire? You're mostly looking for
Other business owners.
total business to business thing.
Yeah.
And when exactly is the best time? Like, what are they going through?
So
What needs to be in place for them to have to call you right now?
right now there's a variety of things. So I get a lot of new business owners that are just starting out. They're thinking of opening a business or they're about to open a business, and so I've done their entire branding for them from top to bottom. There's others that have had a business for years, maybe had somebody else managing their website and doing their social media, and either that person quit or they fired them or something happened, and they come to me so that I can take over or revamp. I've had a handful of situations where people have come when it's too late, so they've come and they've said, oh my god, I don't know what I did to my WordPress, but I totally screwed it up, can you please fix it? So yeah, those are kind of the three areas right now that I see.
Okay, good. Keep those things in mind, because those are like areas where people might be, you know, like the emotional drivers to go to you.
Yeah.
And how about you? What are like the people?
My customers,
Yeah.
I do all that for her.
mainly businesses and politicians.
Good talk.
Businesses and politicians. We're mainly B2B, except for politicians.
They're a B.
That's when
Are
I
they a
first-
B?
I was
They have
working
a
with
treasurer, right?
Vincent Chiravelli when he was.
Is it? I'm
I
sorry.
was working with Vincent Chiravelli.
Oh,
when he
okay,
was-
yeah. He used us too.
Mhm.
So, is that enough?
Yeah. Yeah,
Busy
busy
soccer
mom.
moms at 8:30 once the kids might be in bed if you're lucky. Could be 9 o'clock. I don't know. They're looking for things for their kids to do, or daycare, or camp, or
Thanks.
martial
Yes.
arts.
Okay, good. So those are the people you, and so so when search engines rank websites, it's almost like there's millions. What is this number? This is a billion. Billions of websites on the internet, and you can't just like actually look through them to find what you need. So the search engine will actually, you know, rise to the top. You explain it for a second. And so if you pay attention to what your customers want, what they're looking for, and what questions they're asking, like, you know, what can I do this week with my kids? Or how do I win this political campaign? Or, oh my god, someone screwed up my website, you know what I mean? Like, those issues that where people are starting to look for you, if you address those problems, like when they're like at the crest of, for them, that's when they'll find you. And so if you can do both of those things, you know, find that, like if you can find use your stump grinder keyword, and also know like what is the point where people are rushing to the internet looking for you, like what are they going through in their minds when they're going to you, and actually like figure out what those problems are and write about those problems, you know, kind of solve those problems in your content, and use the keywords at the same time, do both those things, then people will come to you and they'll want to share. So yeah, using search engines is like online dating. I chose this picture because this looks just like my dad. To my horror, when my dad was in his 50s, he started online dating. And I was thinking, oh my god, you are undateable, what are you doing?
Poor guy.
But spoken like a loving daughter. But
It's going on pack 8.
Dad, sorry.
Cut that.
sorry, Dad. No, it's okay. It's okay.
You can
No,
edit, right? You can edit.
he was dating and he was going online, and I was thinking, but you know, it's sometimes, you know, I just don't think that if you were at a bar, you know, he would probably not succeed. But he was online, and so he could put in certain criteria. He could put in his interests. He could put in an age group that he was kind of shooting for. He could search for, like, you know, just certain things that he wanted, and he ended up getting some dates, and so it was good. I've never tried online dating, but you know, and so when you find a match, it means that what you've put out there and what someone is looking for matches. Anyway, online dating it's
Marketing yourself.
It's marketing yourself.
You're selling yourself. Wait a second.
Online
Don't say that, don't say that.
Online dating uses search engines.
It does, yeah.
And it's like fishing. You use keyword research to make sure that you're throwing your fish in a pond where there's actual fish. I just looked up mine and realized that like 48,000 people are looking for internet marketing and content strategy. And so I'm going to use those words because it actually shows what I do. So
What were you using before?
I don't know, I was using like marketing consultant, and that's okay. but I think if I'm gonna be doing a marketing consultation, I'm gonna be consulting them in their content strategy anyway.
You get them by,
So, I mean, that's, yeah,
you hook them by content strategy, and then you get the rest of their marketing. It's your foot in the door, right?
yeah. Yeah, it seems like it, that's the big bait. So I haven't been using content strategy, but funny thing is that that's actually what I'm obsessed with, so. I should use it.
It was meant to be.
It's meant to be, you know? So, yay! Doing the search engine will, you know, when you get this done, you'll get all these wonderful things. Just because you'll get more traffic, I mean. I don't know, does anyone have a good idea of how much traffic they're getting currently?
Yes, I got 115 hits last month,
Okay.
of which my conversion rate super sucks. But that's because my phone number is on the front. So, maybe mission success, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's kind of an impossible metric to track.
It depends on what your conversion.
If I gave them too much upfront, right? If I just gave them my phone number and they call me, that's good, because then they were able to get a hold of me right away. But, you know, just something that's not trackable.
Yeah.
I mean, I got 115
Well, you could
hits.
mention, you could give some sort of incentive on that front page that says, call us today, mention you stopped by our website, and get, I don't know, your first 50 business cards free or something, I don't know.
That's true,
Some
yes, I
sort of
could do that.
incentive.
I have a feeling that a lot of it is existing clients that can't remember my phone number. So like Edge Topic, what is Patrick's phone number?
With all these different businesses, there's a lot of different ways that people want to convert. You guys want a phone call. You want people to
Come in. and
come
sign up
in.
for
You want
something.
people to come in and sign up, physically come into the gym, maybe.
Mhm.
You guys
No,
want
I
a
want-
phone call.
Phone call.
You guys
I
want
want
a
a
phone
phone
call.
call. Patrick wants online ordering, so we're
So it's passive.
we're flesh. He handles one side and we kind of do that because we have different ideas of how it should be.
Yes, yeah, I know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's working fine.
But we offer something that Vistaprint does not. A person on the phone that is not from another country.
Yeah.
You know, you can get
It's more
Filipino
customizable.
help for under minimum wage.
Wait, I can get what?
You can get Filipino help
I
for under minimum
Don't
wage.
think I wanna go down that path. I can get myself for under minimum wage.
No, you already are under minimum wage.
So with your website, it's not it's not a phone call. It's not going to be that. It's going to be more of a long-term thing. What would your conversion look like? You think? If someone came to your website? What do you want to have happen? Just
And the most important part of it is initially is making that person-to-person contact. Because if
getting
you
their
don't
contact
make,
information.
no, how you make that and what that means, it could be in a variety of ways. To building a mailing list, to exchanging emails, to doing a conference call, or having them fly from New York out to Los Alamos so we can take them around.
Does your website have like a way to make contact right away? That's obvious.
Well, the Labby website does. The new one, we're building that, and and in fact, one of the challenges of doing it is that it is targeted at many different audiences, because an entrepreneur and an investor, as it may be a big surprise, absolutely do not think the same way. Their view of the world is significantly different. And so a lot of what we have to do is offer translation services, not in the sense of, you know, from one language to another, but it's essentially the same thing to facilitate the communication. And so it's something that I struggle with, trying to figure out the best way that you can do it, because you need one name location or one single name recognition for this vast array of different people and different organizations. And so if General Mills wants to contact us, I'm not sure how they do it. Because this is all brand new, it's sort of,
Might have to be like some different buckets within
yeah,
the website.
and that's what we're building.
So, okay, so writing interesting keyword-rich content. Some of the questions that I get are, what should I write? And when I wrote it out, I'm almost like, how could I say that? Find out what your customers are looking for and giving it to them. But if you can find out what they're looking for, what,
And it's good to write a different page for each of those things, like.
Well, that's exactly,
Yes,
you're exactly
exactly.
right.
So
And
one of them will, so what?
essentially, it becomes a sales page for each category, and that's what you're optimizing, even though it's on one particular website.
And not only that, but then you get a hit for each of those different keywords too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could actually, not only do you optimize for that one keyword that we all talked about, but then you could optimize for, so you have two keywords that you can optimize for right now that you've identified. Content strategy and internet marketing. So you have two separate pages for each of those, and you treat them totally separately. And then you even have blog posts dedicated to each keyword.
yeah, so it's like you choose, I guess the first thing is decide who your customer is. And you might have to make a list. So you have this customer, you have entrepreneurs, investors, business owners, you know, governments, and, okay, now what do the entrepreneurs want? What are they looking
Oh,
for?
I
And
forgot one other category, it's very important, donors.
donors. Exactly.
No, I mean, that's a totally different, the message to a donor is significantly different than and a message to an investor is different than a message to an entrepreneur.
Yeah, so Andy's gonna get an enormous website that's gonna be like this gravitational force of,
It's a singularity.
yeah. So,
Someone was like, what?
so the way that I find out what people want is I spy on them as best I can. I spy on them by, you know, by going on LinkedIn, you know, places and finding out what questions people ask. It's not really spying, you know?
It's research.
It's research. It's very quiet research. Just, you know, going into groups and finding out the questions people ask. How are the way people present their problems, you know? Even if you're going out to a job and you hear someone coming out and explaining, you know, where the stump is or what the problem is, what are they saying? What are they talking about the problem is? You know, like, are they worried that it's next to the sidewalk? Are they, you know, worried that it's too, you know, whatever? What are those worries? Just kind of jot them down. Or, you know, when people come in to the YMCA and they're signing their kid up for soccer, what questions do they have? What, I don't know, what things are they, what complaints do they have?
Mostly they're like, yeah, it's a very good
What are the
thing,
complaints?
and there's plenty
And
of
those
questions,
complaints,
mostly questions, what do I do for my child, do I need equipment? Should
Yeah,
or
and what
can it
happens
be
if
at the
it's,
day of the week I want, those are questions.
yeah, because people, and, all right, I feel like I'm blabbing a lot, but, you know, a lot of people, when they're talking about websites, they're saying that people don't really actually read websites. You know, that's the thing that people are saying lately. And that might be true, but when people are interested in something, when they want to buy something, that's when they start reading. When someone is trying to figure out how to solve a problem or they want to buy something, then they start reading a lot. And so that's kind of the rationale for, you know, put some content out there. And I'm not saying you need to be Faulkner or anything.
There's also a way you can track that too, using Google Analytics. You can find out exactly how much time people are spending on each page that you have. And by using that information, you can determine, well, they're not actually reading this content in the 15 seconds they spent on the page.
Yeah, you can figure out, so when you go into Google Analytics, you can find out where people are entering the most, where people are reading, and then you can spend more energy there.
And
Spend
there's
less
a
energy.
tracker on that, okay, so.
Right, but with WordPress, you install one plugin and you include your tracking code and you're done. And then
Yeah.
for all your pages, and it'll track all of your pages.
Yeah, so it's like if it works, do more of it. If it
Right.
doesn't, don't waste your time on that, you know? So like I said, spend some time writing down the questions that your customers are asking. you know, when they're coming to, or even when they're asking, I don't know, keep it local is a great place to spy on people, I think.
Definitely.
You know, and I've noticed that people, it is almost like they never even have gone outside sometimes. They'll be like,
It's like, don't you know
is there a
this?
grocery
How
store
are
in
you
here?
gonna-"
No, is there a grocery store in town? No, sometimes the people ask a lot of questions. They'll be like, where can I get this? How can I get this? What do you think when you did this? You know, people have a ton of questions and you could just see that. And so if you find that people are asking questions about your business, then put it on your website, because people are gonna be asking that. And if you notice someone asking it in public again, then you'll have your webpage and you'll be able to like, boom, here's the answer to your question. It's official, it's on their website, you know what I mean? So much, it's more powerful than just saying, well, I actually have a business that does that. You can just be like, here's my website page. It's,
That's customer service.
yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know, any questions on this? Just all those details when you're spying on people and when you're listening to people, you know, trying to make their decisions, or even like when you're dealing with customers and you hit a snag. Like kind of, if you're dealing with customers and you hit a snag, then take note of those snags and start writing out the solutions to those problems that you have even with your customers. That
You
way,
mean like when you're verbally engaging with a customer and you can't answer the question? Or-
yeah, maybe, or
Okay.
or like if they've had a question, or if you've had like a miscommunication about the service that you have, you know, you can go back and you can fix it and you can make a,
I gotcha.
you know, because
Make a blog about it, is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
you can make
Or create a content-specific page on that,
you can make a
Solving
content.
problems.
like what is a
What
bleed?
to do.
What is a bleed? Yeah,
What is a
exactly.
bleed? Make a page on what is a bleed. What does 4/4 mean? Make a page on 4/4 versus 4/1. All those different printing specific terms. You could make a dictionary or a glossary of terms in the printing industry, and then write a page for each one, and bam, 1,000 pages of content.
Yeah, if you can find statistics that would show that having a bleed makes a marketing piece
Yeah.
actually
Look
sell
more
better.
look
If
more
you-
professional.
Or,
Look more
and there's
professional.
ways to really throttle it up too.
Huh?
Like when to include a bleed, when not to include a bleed.
Yeah.
Right, like
Yeah.
when, on what kinds of pieces should you include a bleed that would make it more responsive? Or like what kinds of physical activities or physical fitness exercises or programs do people actually like and that people then work for people? Or what
Yeah.
kinds of tree stumps are the most pains in the neck to get out of the ground?
So here's something that you can do that is
Aspen.
easy, and you can do it tonight.
That's what they said.
That's awesome.
That you can do it tonight is just create a frequently asked questions page for your website. And the way that this will work with search engine optimization, have the question, first of all, search engine, people look for frequently asked question pages. For some reason, a lot of people come in on those pages. I think it's because people go to search engine and they're writing questions, and that's what they do, and then they'll come to the page. So when you have those questions written on your website, then when people type it in, they'll come directly to the question and the answer. So you can have one frequently asked, one FAQ page with, just question 1, answer, question 2, answer. But then you can break it up within your website. You can have a separate page for each question, and you can optimize each question. And then go from the original FAQ page and link to the other ones. And how would you explain that then improve the SEO?
Well, it certainly boosts. It wouldn't necessarily boost anything right away, but then Google would take a look at those individual pages and see if there's a good network within your website, a network of pages within your website that's the on-page optimization. So right now we're talking about the on-page optimization versus the off-page optimization. Off-page being your Bing and Yahoo listings and stuff. on-page optimization, you've got all this content and then you link it to itself. Inlinks are good, quality inlinks that have an appropriate term within the hyperlink itself. So you select a term, or you're writing an article, right? And then you say, well, this workout routine worked better for this kind of person, and this workout routine worked better for this kind of person. And then you link both of those different types of workout routines to previously written articles on those individual routines. And that's building the network of your website within itself. And Google sees that and says, oh, look at all these hyperlinks that link to other relevant content in your website. That's cool. Good, we'll boost your SEO.
Even like a contacts page, if you have like a contact on it.
Kinda, that one's less important. Blogs are good because if you link blog posts to themselves or to other blog posts, that's really good. Contact page, everybody has a contact page. So I mean, it sort of works. Now that's more of a menu, but you put a hyperlink at the bottom of every page that says contact me.
Mhm.
It's an actual hyperlink, it's not a menu button or whatever. That's better.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yes, because that also builds your network.
Right. So if you have frequently asked questions and you answer a question and then you say, find out more about this here, and then you go to an article that you've written like 10 months ago, then it just brings visitors deeper and deeper into the website, and it makes the website appear more authoritative, and it appears that the website is beefier, and that's really what you want to have. And really, when you're answering all these questions, you're also just giving good customer service. I mean, people just want to have their question answered. And so if you're answering legitimate questions that people are asking you, and just doing it, one person asks, I'm going to answer it for everybody, then you're saving yourself time, you're increasing your SEO, and you're just having your website be more useful.
Which then could lead to them becoming another kind of customer for you.
Exactly.
That's a lot of it.
Like when people find your website useful, they'll come back to it more often, and they'll refer to it, and they'll show it to other people.
So that's neat that you mentioned that. So like as far as something that's printing specific, you have templates, lots of templates. So
Yeah, 'cause that's one
you
way
have
to think of
pre-built. Yep, you have pre-built templates that you list on your website as a PDF. That way people can import it into InDesign and use it themselves. And when they ask for, hey, do you have a template for an 8.5 by 11 trifold brochure? Oh, yes, I do. Here's the link. And then you can have a link or a page of links to templates, and that's good. I mean, for me anyway.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
an
I don't really know.
As
Yeah,
an
as an
example,
example, yes.
yeah.
And if you've answered a question really well for a graphic designer, and they're like, yes, this is so much better than Vistaprint, go here instead, then they can easily share the page that they found useful with the rest of their graphic designer friends, and that's what you want.
Right. Word of mouth. Word of mouth is good.
Yes, word of mouth.
But that's not SEO.
No, it is.
That's content.
It's content driving people to your website. So people have done eye tracking studies to find out how people read websites, and it kind of looks like it's like a big heat sensing thing where you can see, just people generally read websites like this. So you see that there's headline here, they kind of like scan down here, you look at the pictures, and they don't necessarily read all this stuff. I mean, they will if it's important, but so that's why when you're doing your keywords, when you have your keywords, so for me, into internet marketing content strategy, I'd want to put those keywords up here in the headline, or I can maybe put internet marketing up in the top, and then content strategy down in my sub-headline. So when you're having your pages, what I'm saying is you should always have a headline. always have a headline on your pages. It may not seem like it makes sense, it may feel weird to have a headline, but just having a big bold headline, that's where your keyword needs to be. And a subheadline. So what is a subhead? You've written some content and maybe you've got a couple paragraphs down and then you've got a major piece of information. That's your subhead. Put another keyword right in there. So if you have, 2 keywords, or maybe you want to optimize for something else, then you can use your headline and your subhead in there. Does that make sense? And see how there's this heat-seeking area here, and you can, if let's say this is a picture or a call-out box, you can use your keywords here too with your captions and with your alts tags.
Or almost like a call to action too. You have a button that says quote request, or a button that says call me.
Yeah, if you want to have a button that says call me, put it right here. This is where people are looking first. If that's what you want to have happen, is have someone call you, put it right here. Put it right here, maybe.
So that's.
If your call me button is down here, who's gonna call you?
Does that heat chart actually identify which spot they look at first? Or do you know where? Where?
Is this the way they scan?
Yes.
They scan it across the top, then down,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
they
then
scan.
across the middle.
So they would start in the top left.
Yeah, and then they're kind of, this is a paragraph, so they're kind of looking at this for a little bit.
It's more like a Z.
That makes sense. Yeah.
No, that-
As far as the pattern of reading goes.
The pattern
right?
of glance, the first impression of the site.
But
is
the
a
shape
Z
is,
scan.
right, the shape is an F, but then it's a Z pattern all the way down.
This is an
Yeah.
e-commerce site with this as a picture here, so.
Oh, that's a
Pretty
picture? That's a picture there?
It's not.
Yeah, less,
That says a lot though, that people look at.
and
Picture is
a
much
lot of
faster.
times if you have a picture and if you have some important keywords that you want to put, one person that I worked for a while ago, he has a blog and it's a really successful blog, and he takes his pictures and he puts them over here. A lot of people when they blog, they put their picture over here. He puts his picture over here, so that way his first paragraph is right here. And that's where the keywords end up being. It seems like a trivial in a way, but if you realize that people are looking like this, then you know where to put your keywords. I suppose there's some stuff over here too. Okay, here's the bad news. Nobody's looking for you. I was so depressed to know that nobody's going MandyMarksteiner.com. No. I mean, they don't know who I am. They're looking for a content strategist, So people may not know the name of your company. They're going to be looking for their problems. And, no matter how small, that's why oh my gosh, she's got a blister over here. It's a pretty small problem. We've got to fix it. So people literally Google their problems. It's like they're going to a crystal ball, try to type in their problems, And so if your content, if the title of your content, I was thinking with white papers, problem solution white papers are really good at collecting leads, because if you write a white paper that's not about your service at all, but you write your white paper about a problem that's out there in the marketplace, or if you write something about having a perfect landscape, or if you have some content about lowering your diabetes numbers, getting your, or just focus on those problems, and then people will be looking for those answers for those problems, and that's when they come to your website. Is that SEO? Maybe not, but what you do is
It keeps them on your website.
It keeps them on your website, and if you have the problem and the keyword at the same time, that's what you really need to do.
So your example is very nice about improving curb appeal by removing ugly steps.
By
But
removing
the
ugly
point of
stems.
keeping them on your
Wait,
website.
what was it? Removing ugly tree stumps?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about that.
But the entire point of keeping them on your website is so that they will become your customer, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And
So, I mean,
and
they're not
if
just
you-
going for length of time on the website, we're looking for, you know, you have to, it's almost like you need a call to action in there for them to, okay, well, you can't remove your tree stump yourself? Give us a call, we'll do it for you.
And like she said,
Yeah.
when people are looking for that, they do read it.
When people are
So-
looking for that, they do read it. And if someone, and
You just
yes,
give
so you need to have,
them
yeah, you need to have a call to action, absolutely. But I was thinking with this example, this is a matter of getting other people, getting other people to look at your website. And this is it's not an SEO thing, it's a person thing. It's a dealing with other people thing. Because you're solving a problem of the end customer, but you're also solving a problem of real estate agents, because the real estate agents are very motivated to get other people to get their yards clean. I don't think anyone cares about other people's yards as much as a real estate agent, because they want, if that yard looks perfect, then they can sell it. And so if you write something like that, you can share it with your real estate friends, and then they can share it with the clients. It's a way to get other people to share in a way that's very win-win. I'm giving you something. I'm not asking you to pitch my business. I'm giving you something that'll help you.
Offer you promotion.
Yeah.
This may be off the subject and getting into where you're really an expert, but essentially in a lot of the articles you're writing a squeeze page,
Yeah.
which is to motivate them to take action. So if you've got a health facility, you can say this sort of activities improve whatever it is that you're doing. And if you want to know more, give us a call or come visit us.
Exactly.
You're getting them to take action based upon the expertise that you've demonstrated. So you may not be doing search engine optimization, but you're doing search people optimization.
Yeah, I would think this is under lead generation.
Pardon?
Your lead generation, but you're
Yeah.
using your keywords on all these
It's just-
headlines. But the headline brings people in, and you always have a call to action on every one of these blog pages. So if you've got 100 blog pages with, you know, 100 different problems, and each one has a very specific call to action.
I can give you another example. We've been out of, in 1996, I did our first website for our gallery, and we sold Yadro figurines on that. And we stopped selling them online essentially about 6 to 8 years ago. In doing it, I wrote a bunch of articles on how to sell your Yadros. You know, people get, and these are expensive figurines and this sort of thing. I've done nothing with that webpage and those articles, but I still get 1 to 2 calls a week asking for information that I know they're finding on a search engine for those pages because they're searching for selling their Yadros. So you just never know, is all I'm getting at. But they read the articles and then they feel, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about, and they in fact call. So you just never know.
Yeah. You can answer the question once.
Pardon?
You can answer the question once instead of answering it.
Yeah.
You know, solve the problem once and then,
Yeah, so
well,
it all depends.
Okay, so, yeah, when people are interested in the subject, they really want to learn more. Patrick really is interested in SEO. He will not stop geeking out over it. You know, like, I am really into content marketing. I'm not even listening to his SEO. I'm just too busy talking about content. You know what I mean? And so when people are really interested in stuff, they keep talking about it. I would think, getting in my Zumba girl, in the YMCA, I've been thinking of Zumba. That's because I go to the Zumba classes and they're fun. So people who like Zumba, there's one woman that's in the Zumba class, and then I saw her in another area in her life, and she was still wearing her Zumba clothes, and she had Zumba music in her headphones, and she was just working out. She was at work. She was still having fun with Zumba, and that was not in the YMCA anymore. She's still thinking about it. And that doesn't mean that when she's gone at home doing Zumba, that means she's still going to go back to the YMCA class. And so when you sense that someone is getting really excited about something that you're doing, put something up there, put some more content somehow, you know. So in this case, you know, and I don't know if this is the way you're gonna do your optimization, but if you're trying to optimize for, you know, fitness classes, what is it, fitness gym memberships, but fitness, and then you also want to get the Zumba, you're the only one in town doing Zumba, then you could, there's a lot of ways you can create a lot of extra content that would bring people in. You know, just interview the instructors. The Zumba instructors, they're really good at like posting stuff. And even like, you don't even think about it, they'll be like, you know, they'll have a picture of themselves and then they'll post it on Facebook and then they'll tag everyone that they know in the class. And I don't know how like the whole YMCA could take advantage of that, but, you know, thinking of like, you know, Natalie, she's really great at promoting her Zumba classes, you know, so interview the instructors, and then when they've been interviewed, they're gonna share it all over the place. Their friends are gonna share it. That's the thing, but when you feature people, other than yourself, the people that you feature, they wanna share it, cause they look good. So so you can create a page where people can go to buy their awesome Zumba clothes.
I'm featuring you in just a second.
Thank you.
Yes, with the Zumba picture. Okay, perfect. To Facebook.
Go in the pose.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Okay. Not gonna happen. Sorry.
Humor self.
Good try.
Nice try. Yeah.
I honestly, an article might be like, tell me what's with Zumba clothes, you know?
I was
Why do
thinking-
you love to?
I was thinking that myself because I like Zumba. I'm not horrible at Zumba. Who knows? Maybe I'm awesome at Zumba, but I'm just self-conscious.
Is it where they have the little,
Sometimes, no, they've got like
The
little
little-
brightly colored clothes like this. Well,
Just like
not,
that?
they're not so much like that. I
not
mean,
like the belly dancer type?
No, I don't know. Yes.
Sometimes
That
they
you
wear
shake
coins.
around. Yeah,
Sometimes
that's what I
coins.
mean, the coins on the
But-
scarves.
So I'll go to Zumba class and I'll be wearing just like sweats, and then I'll be watching myself in the mirror going, oh my god. And I think I'm terrible at it. It's because I need better Zumba clothes. I think.
Yeah,
It helps.
I
I'm not
thought about
surprised.
this. I need to buy better Zumba
You need the
clothes.
coins, Mandy.
Because everyone else is, they're wearing sexy
I
clothes.
have a
so-
coin scarf for you at home. Up
Who
in-
could get it? So I don't know. You know, like when people are starting to get like really riled up over your services, then just feed the fire. Any way you can, you know, and it doesn't always have to be content. It doesn't always have to be written content. It can be videos, which you can optimize with, you know, the description of your video. You can use YouTube. You can have photos. I was thinking before and after kind of photos, or, you know, just infographics, things like that. So yeah,
We haven't put any videos.
and then when you have all these pages, that you've created, you start to create like a cluster of pages. You link them all together. You get what I would call a resource page. You know,
Your intranet.
your own intranet.
Not your internet, but the intranet within itself.
Yeah, you can have a resource page. Find out all about Zumba. You
Your
know,
fact page.
yeah.
Fact,
Zumba,
sorry,
Zumba
FAQ.
fact page.
I'm in your FAQ, your frequently asked question page. I pronounced the acronym. Dang it, sorry.
And so you have that page, and then you can have all those headlines in there, and you can link to the separate pages, and it becomes very webby. All right, this is a little blurry, but I'm sorry, but this is Eugene Schwartz is like this legendary copywriter who, you know, he's written a lot of promotions that just have made a lot of money for a lot of people, so he knows what he's doing. But he's got this idea where it's the 5 levels of customer awareness. So over here, there's customers that are super aware of your product. I need a bleed. My brochure needs to have bleed all the way to the edge. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
need to have, I know exactly what I want. It needs to be on this weight of paper. and the only person that can give it to me is Patrick, and so I'm just gonna buy, all he needs to do is tell me how much it costs.
At that point, I'm worried that it's another printer that's shopping me.
I know. Well, it could be me, I could just be like wanting to get something, I could
Or
get something.
yes,
It
or
could-
somebody that knows exactly what they want, but
yeah, it
that's
could be
hardly
someone-
anybody.
Yeah, so those people, they just need to know what it costs, and they're really easy to sell. You talk to them in a certain way, you say, you know, you need your brochures, they're gonna cost this, here's what it is, that's a very simple sale.
Here's how long
And then
it'll
there's some
take,
people that
here
are
are-
product aware. And then, you know, then there are some people that know they need a brochure, but they don't necessarily know what kind of brochure. They don't know what makes a brochure,
Sure.
you know, good or bad. And they get a little skittish, like if you know, they're not sure if they wanna buy your brochure. And you talk to them a little differently. You need to answer their questions. You need to kind of
You guide
resolve their
them.
problems. You need to
Yeah.
guide them. And so there's some salesmanship that happens there that can happen on your website. And then there's some people that are just, they're kind of aware that they have a problem, like, nobody knows about my business, I don't know what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Why can't I get the word out? I'm just standing around here, not making any money, you know,
Because
they.
their SEO is bad and they don't have brochures.
Yeah, their SEO is bad. So those people, you need to talk to them in a completely different way. You need to like explain to them how to get the word out about their business, and that's so when you need to figure out where your customer is on here. Unaware, completely unaware, these are people that,
You pretty much need to tell them what to buy.
I,
This is what you need to buy.
no, I mean,
They don't even
people
know that they don't know.
People that are on the unaware side, and it really,
Oh, they don't even know
They-
that they have a problem.
they don't they just feel a little bit of angst. They're feeling a little bit upset, like maybe someone is really out of shape and they're unhealthy and they don't even know where to start. They don't even know. And so people that are unaware, generally the way you sell them stuff is by telling an awesome story. You start by telling an awesome story about someone who has, you know, you kind of, it's almost like a sneak attack. By
Something
telling,
that they can relate to, right?
it's like you tell an awesome story from where they're at, and they forget that they're being sold. They don't even think that they're being sold, because when people start hearing stories, they're like, ooh, someone's telling me an awesome story, and then you listen to it, and then you get wrapped up in it, and then all of a sudden you're like, all right, now sign up for your membership and get your treadmill, you know, and they're like, what happened? You know, or whatever. I mean, I'm thinking people who are unaware for yards.
Try to get them sold on something.
Well,
That's
you-
true,
you're
because
telling-
people are just walk by, you see it long enough and you start ignoring it, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you don't know.
Or they don't realize all the cool things they could do with that space if they did that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. What I was reading something about defensible spaces. What is that?
They just clear the trees and shrubs from around your property.
Yeah.
Like fire mitigation and stuff.
Okay, so
So
maybe
like blowing ashes might not come and ignite that dry bush by your house and catch your house on fire.
Yeah, so I could see someone who doesn't care about their yard, but then if you start talking about
Your house burns.
if you start to like kind
Put you on
of
the history.
poke them at the fear of
Mhm.
getting their house burning down, or like if there's fires coming, like, you know, it's getting really dry, you can start to say, you know, start to play the fear card a little bit, and
Right.
you know, tell a story about someone's yard that they lost theirs.
So you could do a bunch of before and after shots, that might be very appealing, because
Mhm.
people like stop and they're blind or something, I don't know.
Oh yeah, before and after, almost like before and after, yeah, like with weight gain and loss, but also before and after with your yard, like HGTV kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I would think it would just be fun to kind of watch someone, you know, just in and of itself, just watch someone grind a stump, but that's me.
Well, you use one of those
I'm a
GoPros and you
doctor.
do the time lapse.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Because
like
we did that with
I
that.
think you guys have a ball with video
We did a
because
car
That's
wrap.
getting a video on your
almost like just
website.
watch, just constantly videotape it and then.
Do you guys have a Facebook page?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. What is it called?
And then
We did our,
And then stuff
Stuff
grinders.
Wow.
Our delivery car, is that how?
Anyway, that's my point. Where does
You may have seen it around.
Yeah.
I've seen it. We did
Here's your
that
page.
as a GoPro
And there's-
time lapse, how we wrapped it, cause that's how I train my guys, was
Oh,
to
cool.
wrap it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it was very
Or
nice.
stump grinders.
Keyword rich photo captions. will show
Well, that's
everything.
not right.
Yeah.
This is by you guys at their
Yeah, there's a stump.
Success
What is
story.
that?
Well, we also offer packages where the guys will plant like a tree or they'll
In
plant
the
flowers, yeah,
Mhm.
in
Oh,
the area that
where
they
it was.
have a stone. So you can do like you said before and after shot of that and show people how beautiful it can be.
Yeah,
Afterwards.
exactly. I was thinking Claire is really good at this, is telling, sorry, I don't want to put you on the spot.
No,
but-
that's fine.
No, I think that I've noticed you're really good at this in person and talking when you are talking about problems that you've faced with your customers, and you'll just kind of go, well, one client did this and we overcame it like this, or one client had this problem and we overcame it like this, and those stories, like one at a time, would be awesome content, like just,
It's like frequent, instead of frequently asked questions, like frequent problems or something.
yeah, problem solved,
Yeah.
or,
Frequently
yeah, it almost like the
solved
Problems.
That's a better
marketing, no, someone else has this marketing prescription thing, but like,
Well, like a Netflix
marketing-
prescription, you need to watch
marketing
this show
fix
on
it.
Netflix, right?
yeah, that this customer, their website was completely out of control, or this website they had huh?
That's really clever, like the marketing doctor or something, and you write them a prescription for how to fix their
RX.
website.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah, I'm thinking with Claire, I think she can get a lot of traction with that, like, here's someone who's just starting a business and they didn't even know where to start, and so we did these simple steps, and now they're going, or this company, they were plateauing, and and I would think the thing that you were saying with the pig and fig, with
That'd be something huge
people
to capitalize
in Los
on.
Alamos,
Everybody knows
Every-
everything now.
everyone knows the pig and fig, but also everyone knows that restaurants are always going out of business in Los Alamos. It's ridiculous. And you're doing marketing for the company that has their
They have an article in the Albuquerque Journal, right?
We've been featured in the Albuquerque Journal, Local Flavor. We're in the Discover magazine. That's the new.
And they linked back to
Yeah.
the Pig and Fig website, right? Those are good
Well,
external
no,
links.
They don't. Well, yes, they do actually. Yeah,
Good.
they have our website. Yeah, except for the local monitor guy who put our email. That's fine.
so for your website to have a success story about this pig and fig, and what you've done, just to say what you've done, even with the newsletter selling the meals, the dinners, just saying that, it's almost like this is a guaranteed, these dinners are sold out, you know what I mean? Like, that's a huge promise for a new
That's my biggest
for a new business.
struggle. Is
Yeah, for you
I
to-
do marketing well, but I don't do it well for my company.
yeah, and it's like you have
It's like hairdressers.
with
Yeah.
the pig and
Back
fig,
here.
you have solid proof that you're awesome at what you do, and so you just need to tell that story and have
Yeah.
some quotes and show people the pig and fig, and then it's like, if anyone's wondering, does Claire know what she's doing? Yes, she really does. And so,
We'll totally have a showcase.
case studies.
Like, not only does it give your website a link to Pig and Fig, which will boost their SEO,
I think
but
at the bottom of Pig and Figs, or at least on most of my websites, I don't know if I've done it on theirs, I usually say website managed by.
then you link back to
And
yourself.
then link back to myself.
And you do it both ways. Create a showcase page or a list of
Yeah.
websites or companies that you market for.
I used to have that, but I just don't have time to keep up my own website. So I like
Make
to
time,
keep it
seriously.
simplistic,
Oh wait,
You really have to
I got a
make-
business
right?
Well, it's like printers. Printers always have the worst business cards for themselves. It's
Well,
so bad.
or you're out of business cards because you're too busy
You're
printing
right.
for somebody else.
We are out of them a lot.
That's just the case.
Or like
you
stump
know?
grinders
So
where you
for
have
the
a stump
pig
in
and
your own
fig, I
yard.
think-
Yeah,
That would
it's
be
like,
bad.
don't come to my house, please.
Yeah, so for the pig and fig, you could see a narrative description, or even like it coming from Laura, like interviewing her about what you've done, or, you know, even like having, I don't know if you have a video showing it, but.
I guess I could probably do like a testimonials page, but.
You don't have one? Get one.
My website is uber simple because I don't, I manage currently like 7 websites.
No,
Get
I'm not looking at
testimonials
my
page.
own
Tyler's
website.
children.
right now.
Pardon?
Shoot, it is that case, it's totally that case.
All
Like
you-
my social media is.
Just set it up and tell your customers to damn it, write one.
Cause they're gonna be like, no, that's what you do for me. Go write yourself one. I'll
Yeah.
sign it. That's probably what they'll tell me.
No, that's what you do have to do. That is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so promote your content. I've been standing here saying, write all this stuff, write this, write that. And you might be going, this is too much to write. And what I'm gonna suggest to you is to choose one thing, write it well, and then promote it for a while. So wherever you're gonna start, maybe the frequently asked questions page, you know, write that as well as you can, and then promote it, share it with people.
Post it everywhere, on every social media ever.
I don't know. Yeah,
LinkedIn.
exactly.
Even the ones you don't think it'll work on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's what surprises you.
Well, I mean, it might not necessarily work in terms of getting hits, but it'll definitely work in terms of, well, now you've got another external link from a big website. Like you share an article to the okay, so this is maybe overestimating, but sharing an article to the New York Times. The New York Times posts it. You might not get a lot of hits directly from the New York Times, but it'll boost your SEO. That's a weird example. But you send it to the LA Daily Post. They share it everywhere, and then you'll definitely get hits from that just because it's the Daily Post.
Yeah, and then the Daily Post, all they are is like one giant search engine monster. You know?
Well,
I would ask how much,
Yeah.
Optimized for every search
how many
engine.
300-word articles can you write about stump removal for the LA Daily Post?
Well, I would think that one article that she could write an article about, like if, let's say there's a big lightning storm or a big windstorm and there's a bunch of trees that have fallen on, you know,
Yeah,
houses
or
and
the
things
big
like that.
snowstorm
And just almost like have the article ready to go.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, take one picture and, we can take care of this for you, and then put it in at that
Yeah.
moment, you know?
Like right after the LA Daily posts an article about the windstorm, like that was a couple weeks ago, a month or so
Yeah.
ago, have your article ready, send it to them and say, well, hey, here's all these trees that just blew down, and then the next article in their feed is your article on, hey, we'll remove the stumps from the trees that got knocked over.
Or in the spring, like, talk about, composting the grind, the sawmill.
Oh, yeah.
You could just, this is great for gardeners, our business typically does this with these things,
Mhm.
it's good for mulches or whatever. It's
Yeah.
very carbon rich.
And even Facebook,
These are the
Promotions.
Mexico gardeners.
paid promotions that you can
Mhm.
target here in Los Alamos, and for, like, when we had that snowstorm with all this, that's when you send out that campaign.
Right.
And people will see it, oh my God, they say, what I need, boom, everybody's on Facebook these days, a lot.
And in the fall, you could it's like prep for winter, when the trees, leaves have fallen and the trees fallen and you need to take care of it, it's a good way to put up for the winter or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know when I should get a tree stuck around.
Anytime you
like
accept
some-
winter.
But you see, those are the sort of things that you can write short articles about.
And then you
And,
can publish them
and
in
talk to
places.
Carol about doing a weekly column. Doesn't have to be very long,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
because
hard.
they're always
It's
looking
like-
for
it's
stuff.
like an and
And
land
every
for
time
stuff.
it gives you another link back for the SEO
And
business.
she does that for a lot of local businesses here in town. There's like a little blog for food where this lady was writing, she'd make something and take
design.
pictures. There's one for interior design. So
Yeah.
if you did like easy home repair stuff, or what the heck is this plant, is it safe for my children?
Can you read home a tree?
Can you rehome a tree? Yeah. I mean,
Do you like to talk about your business?
That would be a hilarious
Do you like to
video.
tell
You
people
guys should
about
do
those
that.
things?
I will
Write it
volunteer
down.
my house
Yeah.
for the rehoming of the trees.
Yes.
Yeah, we're lucky because the LA Daily Post is a really easy way to do it, and she's pretty.
She's really great about
She's
supporting
really
small
good about it.
businesses.
Mhm.
But in terms of other newspapers, if you want to find a way to put your foot in the door, look for articles that are like your article. Almost like if you find an article that's almost exactly like the article that you would write, only slightly different, contact that editor, because editors kind of be like, they get in kind of a groove. We'll call it a groove, and they want to keep doing the same thing, So if they've published something on a topic that's relevant to you, then say, hey, I have an article that's focusing, it's sort of different than that last one, would you like to see it? And then they say yes, and then you send it to them. That way you can get, you can get published in strange new magazines that you've never met before. That way you can meet new people.
And don't stop with the LA Daily Post,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
get down into Espanola, because the online paper now in Espanola.
Valley, is it called the
The
Valley Daily
Hemmings.
Post?
Pardon?
Valley Daily Post.
Isn't it run by the
Yeah.
same people, just a
It
different
is.
domain? Yeah.
There's also
The
Hamus.
Hemmings
He-
one.
Yes.
And the Hamus one, the guy that's working those lives here in Los Alamos. And I've known him for a long time. I'm just saying that you'll have sympathy for it, and he's facing the same problems of getting copy. Problems, don't take that the wrong way, but I mean, it's a
Challenges. like,
it's
you
a
gotta keep
challenge,
up.
it's you're always looking for stuff, and use that. And if you can get the links back in, then it helps with your SEO, but it also helps with finding customers.
It drives customers right away. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's promote your content, find groups of people where, busy moms, they might be at FSN. You can maybe send something to FSN and see if they'll send it to their list. Or you can, see if you can send something to, I don't know,
There's a lot of mom groups on Facebook too,
Mom
so
groups.
if you can
just have like
sneak your way into those mom clubs.
and it doesn't have to be, because if you've written something that's useful,
Actually, we have a child watch and a lot of those moms might already be in it.
they could be writing content for the
Yeah.
website.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a crime watch?
It's like where you give them another
Right
break
there.
and you
Like
watch
that right there.
your
I
child
think
watch
that's
so you
child
can work
watch.
out.
Okay,
Child
so
watch.
it's
You
like
get a few
a
minutes
babysitter
away.
pool almost, right? That's kind
Come
of
on,
cool.
come on, you're a dad,
I don't know.
Patrick.
Yeah,
It sounds like
yeah.
crime watch.
All right, that's about it. The last thing is to always follow up.
Opt-in forms.
Opt-in forms, convert them into customers, ask people to buy. Always have a call to action at the end of your content, and that's it.